Welcome into the Boston Sports Summit. I am your host, Tim Barnard, and this show is presented by the Grid Network. And oh boy, was Sunday phenomenal. The fact that the Chiefs looked so dejected on the sideline. I mean, look at them. Look at them. Just a bunch of losers, those Chiefs are. There was a lot of smoke being blown up their asses all those whole 2 weeks in New Orleans. But it is over. It is done. Let us sing a little song. It is time. We are partying up here. Let's go. The Chiefs, Mahomes, Kelce are out of our hair. That is right. It is done. It is over. I am so thankful that not only did the Eagles win, but they murdered them. And for everybody, and don't worry, I'm going to be getting into some of the videos and some of the play that happened on Sunday. But to anybody out there who is a Chiefs fan, who is a football fan, who is a Patriot, anybody, if anybody thinks that Patrick Mahomes is anywhere close to Tom Brady, then you could get the hell out of here, because you are a delusional human being who needs to be locked up in an insane asylum, mental institution, whatever the hell you want to call it. You don't deserve to be roaming around if you believe that Patrick Mahomes is one Super Bowl win away, is right on the precipice of being, considered in the same conversation as Tom Brady. Absolutely not. Get out of here with that nonsense. It is done. It is over for the foreseeable future. If Patrick Mahomes gets 8 Super Bowls, then we can have this conversation. But until then, keep Tom Brady's name out of your mouth. It is done. Shut it. Oh, that felt good. So, welcome into the Boston Sports Summit. I do want to thank you. The Chiefs losing was just the highlight of my week. It really was, because not only did they lose, but they just got emasculated. After all the nonsense that has been going on between the games versus the Texans, the game versus Buffalo, let's not forget you had little Patty Mahomes cry at Josh Allen during the regular season, saying that the offensive offsides was a BS call, which, again, for those of you who remember, the guy was clearly lined up offsides. So, Pat, it was the right call. And then him going on to say to Josh Allen, never congratulated him once, but for him to go on to say, you can't make that call. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And as a Patriot fan, who I've never been not truthful on this show, I have stated I am a Patriot fan through and through. I have a bias. Of course I do. It's evident. I am never not going to say I am not a Patriot fan and that I am 100, down the middle. I'm not. Now, I tried to get as close to the middle as I possibly can because I am nothing if not fair. And we'll talk about that when it comes to the little Red Sox in just a minute. But again, this idea that even with the win on Sunday, Patrick Mahomes was going to be given the crown. It was done. It was over. The greatest dynasty of all time. I mean, hell, let's not forget Nick Wright's little pyramid right here.
The greatest dynasty in NFL history is the one we are currently watching.
Wrong. Absolutely wrong. It is not the one we are currently watching. The greatest dynasty was the one that we watched for 20 years from 2001 to 2019. And it's that simple. I mean, the fact that he is just, and again, he's a homer. He is from Kansas City. But he's on these shows acting like he is down the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so ridiculous. And he's just such an awful take artist. Anybody who follows Nick Wright and actually likes his takes does not understand sports at all. Like, I'm sorry. It's just, that's ridiculous. This man is a BS take artist, time in and time out. He makes the most outlandish takes time and time again. It's true. It really is true. All his outlandish takes. And going into this game on Sunday, right? Part of the outlandish take community was the fact that Travis Kelce is better than Rob Gronkowski. That was the talk. That was especially the talk on a certain radio station in Boston from 2 to 6. For 2 weeks, we had to listen to that. And it was absolutely asinine. Asinine. And the one thing I will say about that Kelce versus Gronk debate is, okay, Kelce absolutely has the longevity that Gronk did not. Gronk got hurt many a time, but to discount Gronk's Super Bowls because he wasn't playing in the game, but he was on the team, he played during that season, but it's still this idea that, okay, Kelce is better, and Kelce's a winner, and Kelce, who cares about blocking? Blocking doesn't get you wins. It's all about receiving and touchdown and all of those, all of that talk. That's what we were hearing time in and time out, to the point where it was getting absolutely nauseating listening to people think that Travis Kelce is a better tight end than Rob Gronkowski. And so it was actually really funny because there were so many times in this game where Travis Kelce was 1,000% a liability when it came to his blocking and just when it came to his play overall. I want to show you a few plays. Take a look right here. Tell me, is this really good at blocking?
The takeoff here of Josh Sweat. I mean, is that really Kelce supposed to block him? I mean, that was Kelce on him. Like, what is he doing on Josh Sweat? How did he get caught like that?
How did he get caught like that? And listen, Josh Sweat was on fire. In my opinion, he should have been the Super Bowl MVP on Sunday. No two ways about it. But then even too, if you watch Josh Sweat on Kelce later on in the game, so you're going to see the overhead view. You're behind Kansas City. Josh Sweat is on this side of the screen with Travis Kelce. Joe Thuney is on this side of the screen going against another Eagles defender. Both of them get beat handily. Watch this. And as you can see, Sweat just gets right by Kelce, and it's over. It's over. There was really nothing to be had, nothing to be said. Just looking at that, again, Kelce is not a blocker through and through. And just to make matters worse, later on in the third quarter of this game, Kelce had the worst mannerisms, the worst dejectedness I think I've ever seen of any player. And especially when you want to talk about greatness, Now, I'm not saying that Tom Brady having to come back down from 28-3, makes him great. No, because as we all remember, Tom Brady threw that awful pick six. LeGarrette Blount had that terrible fumble on the first drive. And so Atlanta took advantage. Like it was evident, right? But the one thing that a lot of people on X wanted to state was that this is Patrick Mahomes' 28-3 moment. In which case, I was looking at it going, well, for those of you who actually remember the 28-3 moment, the Patriots were systematically moving the ball down the field. I think the Patriots had something, if not 40-plus plays in the first half, whereas they could not garner a first down. The Chiefs could not in the first half of that game. They got one first down in that entire first half. They had less than 25 total yards all game. So again, you want to talk about the similarities. You want to talk about the 28-3, play that, that it was bound to happen. I want to show you, first of all, Exhibit A of Travis Kelce just not giving a damn. When you find 87 on this play, he's lined up on the top, near the top part of the screen. He's lined up on the line. Just watch him. This entire play that Mahomes is scrambling around, doing his little dance. He's not even trying. Watch.
Pressure again in Mahomes' face. Steps away somehow. Penalty flag, though, back behind the line. Mahomes dancing around. Still on his feet. Look at Mahomes. Wow. Got a first down. What an effort. Wow. Ball comes out.
I'm sorry. He was middle of the screen, bottom of the line there. But, again, if you notice, Kelce was just standing around. He's just watching Mahomes scrambling, not trying to get open, not trying to do his thing. And again, dejectedness, right? People just who they were done. They were checked off. They were, out of it. And a video popped up from NFL Films showing the Chiefs trying to, all right, guys, hey, the Patriots did it. We can do it too. Ready? Watch this.
Did it, Coach. We can do this. The Patriots did 27-3. We can do this. Come on, dog. Come on, man. We all we got, man. Let's go. Come on.
Get it, baby. Stop pulling on the board.
Yeah, because that's a really inspired team. Come on, dogs. Come on, dogs. We could do this. Come on. Travis Kelce. Goodness. Again, just the comparison between him and Gronk. You want to see what actual blocking looks like from a tight end. Here's how you chip block number one. The play that Josh Sweat blew right by him. Kelce barely got a hand on him. This is how you're actually supposed to chip block.
Oh. Who did that? 87. All right. Got you back for that chip earlier. All right, we're even.
That's how you chip block. I mean, he laid Terrell Suggs out. And listen, Josh Sweat's a big dude, but Terrell Suggs, that's a bad man. That is a bad man. And Rob laid him out. He fell right back on his ass and then continued his route and made the catch. Kelce barely just got a hand on him and then went out and tried to do his thing, leaving Mahomes left for dead. And I've got a lot to say about Mahomes and how his play was, but this is also how you really block a guy. Just throwing him out of the club. It resulted in a penalty, but you know what? Who cares? Gronk threw his ass out of the club. It was phenomenal. So just to see, them try to rally behind the 27-0 score and, the one Chief player getting it wrong. Like, I don't know how you get that wrong. 28-3 is a memorable score that everybody in the NFL community should know. But you want to see what actual motivation is. So when watching this,
did it, Coach. We can do this. The Patriots did 27-3. We can do this.
When watching that and listening and seeing their body language and seeing just how dejected they are, as I pointed out to you earlier with this vital image right here, look at that. 17 rush yards. And they were just, look at them. I saw this live and I'm like, there's no way. There's no way that this team is going to come back. But just for good measure, to show you what the heart of a champion looks like, what being down by 25 and having the opportunity to come back and win looks like, this right here.
Come on, boys, let's go now. Got locked in now, laser focus. Got to play harder. Got to play tougher, harder, tougher, everything. Everything we got. Everything we got. That's what a champion looks like. That is what somebody who will not take no for an answer looks like. And it's so funny to me. Watching that game on Sunday, I was
jumping up and down for joy, watching Philadelphia score points after points after points. That long bomb to Devontae Smith that put them up, I think 34-0. That was it. Done. Ball game. After that moment, all the stats that Mahomes garnered with the 2 touchdowns and all of that stuff, nonsense. It does not show how badly Patrick Mahomes played. And listen, I got a decent clip here of Patrick Mahomes and this offensive line getting ran through, bullied like you have never seen before. Like there should have been zero chance that an NFL offensive line allows a 4-man rush to get home as often as they did like this. I mean, just look, they're lined up. You got wide D ends, and then Mahomes is just left scrambled because his offensive line cannot protect him. Look at that. Just bullying Creed Humphreys and just shoving them back into the backfield. Mahomes can't step up. He tries to scramble, but they get so wide that he's not able to scramble. He gets the ball strip sacked right there. And it was an absolute joke. That what was going on. And now, of course, everybody is trying to say, oh, well, Mahomes played so badly because his offensive line couldn't block for him. It was all the offensive line's fault. That's why he couldn't do anything. Really? It was all the offensive line. And by the way, that was a 4-man rush, folks. That was a 4-man rush. There was no blitzing. Not a single blitz was called during that Super Bowl on Sunday. And meanwhile, again, the whole point of this conversation is because with that win, in some people's eyes, and not for nothing, hell, even without that win, Mahomes was dubbed the greatest of all time. He was already better than Tom Brady. And according to plenty of pundits, including the infamous Nick Wright, excuse me, it was basically a coronation ceremony on Sunday. That there was nothing that can be done because everything that Brady can do, Patrick Mahomes can do and be better at. But there are things that Mahomes can't do that Brady cannot, which is, scramble, which is run around looking like a chicken with your head cut off, sliding so late that you garner penalties like that. I mean, I could go on, but listen, if you want to talk to me about a quarterback who's facing pressure and has to get rid of the ball in less than 2 seconds, there was nobody better than Tom Brady. And if you want to sit there and tell me that, it's because of the offensive line, that's why Patrick Mahomes couldn't do anything. There were plenty of times during Tom Brady's 10 Super Bowl appearances where he was facing a pass rush where they were getting home extremely fast, within 4 seconds or less. But the thing about Tom Brady was he understood that, and he was able to get rid of the ball that much faster. And everyone loves to say, the Giants and the losses. Hell, I'm not even talking about the Giants, where, yes, they got after him real quick. In the second Super Bowl against the Giants, Tom Brady had to get rid of the ball and just chucked it so far that they ruled it a safety because he was standing in the end zone and it was intentional grounding, even though the ball was beyond the line of scrimmage and there was a receiver within 5 to 10 yards of that ball landing. But no, it was a safety because, hey, it's the Giants. They have to beat Tom Brady, right? So I have several plays from Super Bowl 49 where Seattle was bringing the pressure, getting home real quick. And just to show the difference between a quarterback who understands how to deal with pressure and a kind of a mediocre, if not civ O-line versus a quarterback that we just saw who doesn't know how to do that.
3rd and 6. Showing blitz. Here they come. Brady gets knocked down but gets the pass away, and Gronkowski.
It's unbelievable. Michael Bennett could not have gotten to Tom Brady any faster than this. Right around, right in on him, and he still doesn't get the pressure that he needs. Gronkowski on the outside.
This is Amendola coming in motion. Short drop. Pass caught on the outside.
They get him on the ground with some quick throws, and then
3rd and 2. Brady, good clean pocket throws.
So, again, Michael Bennett, pretty much untouched by Brian Stork at center there. And Brady still got rid of the ball, got Gronk on the slant, and picked up, 8 to 12 yards on that play? So, the funny part was, as I was watching that first half and watching that D-line dominate Patrick Mahomes, I thought by at least the second quarter, the Chiefs would have understood that. Andy Reid would have understood everything that was going on, seeing that they're not bringing the blitz. So, and they're getting home to Patrick Mahomes pretty damn quickly. So we need to make some short, intermediate passes. We need to have Mahomes sit in the pocket, catch, look, get rid of. Just definitive, right? Like that's what should have happened. But no, that's not what happened. What happened was Mahomes held onto the ball for far too long, was just an absolute horrendous performance by Patrick Mahomes, where, again, he could not do anything with that football. His stat line of 21 for 32, 257 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 picks is absolute bull. It's absolute bull. The fact that, again, it's all stat padding. Once the backups were brought in, it was over. It was over, and it just goes to show that Mahomes is nowhere near Brady. Nowhere near Brady. And again, just to reiterate even more from that, right? You have all the Chiefs fans now doing a complete 180, spinning themselves silly with the line of thinking where it's like, Mahomes is only 29. Let's pump the brakes, guys. Mahomes is only 29. It's he still has the rest of his career. And then we can judge Patrick Mahomes. Like, then let him finish his career. Then we can judge him fairly. I had to sit on my ass for 2 weeks listening to these morons nonstop talk about how great Patrick Mahomes is, how he's already better than Tom Brady. He's already the greatest. And now you want to hide behind the argument that the kid's only 29 and that he still has the rest of his career? Folks, you can't have your cake and eat it too. That's not how this game works. If you want to sit here and tell me for 2 weeks leading up to this game that he's better than Brady, and then on Monday, if you want to come at me and tell me, well, you can't judge him. You can't say that Brady is head and shoulders better. You can't say that, oh, well, Brady, you can't have Mahomes and Brady discussions. Yeah, because Mahomes hasn't even finished his career. He hasn't hit 30. You can't do that. That is such a disingenuous argument. And there are so many Chiefs fans, so many Chiefs players who are trying to sit there and make that argument, to which, again, my response is, cry me a river. Call me when the kid has got 8 rings. because after that performance on Sunday, it was an absolute joke. Patrick Mahomes had, I think, 33 pass yards. 33 pass yards by halftime. And Patrick Mahomes, what do you mean? He's a guy that Kansas City is just too good. Patrick Mahomes is just too good. There's no way that could happen, right? I mean, hell, listen to Nick Wright right here.
What is so tough about the Chiefs is you can't blow them out ever.
You can't blow them out ever. See? That's the argument. You can't blow them out. I point to Exhibit A. And let's not forget the Super Bowl against Tampa as Exhibit B. Or that's Exhibit A, this is Exhibit B. Because both those games, Kansas City was blown out. But the funny part was the media wasn't spent talking about Tom Brady and Tom Brady winning his 7th and doing all that. No. The whole talk about the Tom Brady Super Bowl where he beat Mahomes was, oh my God, did you see that incomplete pass where Patrick Mahomes was literally sideways and threw the ball? It was incomplete, but still an unbelievable play nonetheless. What he could do with his body is just unreal. It's what really grinds my gears more than anything is this whole idea of of course it's right on the tip of my tongue, but this idea that everything that's new is the best. There's nothing in history that could be better. It's what we have right here, right now. That's the greatest ever. That's the greatest of all time. Speaking in hyperboles, because it's new, it's fresh, it's what we're seeing every day. But this is the issue that I have. Tom Brady, in his first go-around, so his 3 careers, right, broken up. His 3 careers, the first 3 Super Bowls, the 10 years, cover my face, right? The 10 years, of not winning, and then up until I would say the Seattle Super Bowl. So let's say the Seattle Super Bowl is a part of that. Then the final half of his career, or final third of his career. All 3 of those timetables were Hall of Fame timetables for Tom Brady. Hall of Fame numbers, Hall of Fame, Super Bowls, records, the whole 9. Yet, the first third of Brady's career, it was, Brady's the system quarterback. He's not better than Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning is better than Tom Brady. Okay. He wins 3 Super Bowls. He defeats Manning twice. Once in the AFC Championship game, the other in the AFC divisional round. Then the middle third of Brady's career is, Brady's not better than Montana. Brady will never be better than Montana. Montana was 4-0 in Super Bowls, and Tom Brady went 3-2, and he blew the 16-0 perfect regular season. All of which is factual. The Patriots lost and are the infamous 18-1. But again, the funny part is, while the whole media and that entire landscape, if we're talking about, fairness and being cut right down the middle, you had the entire media going into the Patriots playing the Giants for the first time around for the undefeated season. The entire media was against the Patriots in going into that Super Bowl. They did not want to see greatness. They did not. And if anybody tells you differently, they're wrong. They're 100% wrong. But when it comes to this Chiefs team in trying to achieve greatness on the back of the referees gifting some of them crucial calls in crucial games, which if you want to listen to that, then go back to my show last week, okay? Because I talked all about that last week. Everybody in the media wanted to see Kansas City win this game. They wanted Pat Mahomes to be dubbed the greatest of all time. They still want to take that title away from Tom Brady as fast as they can. So going into that game, correct. That was the whole argument. Then Brady wins his fourth off of Malcolm Butler's Super Bowl interception, which I just showed you some plays from where that defense was stout. It was at least a top 5 defense all around, top to bottom. Going against the Legion of Boom that dominated the Denver Broncos, who had the highest scoring offense, the lowest scoring defense versus the highest scoring offense in the year prior, and the defense won. Right? They annihilated Peyton Manning. But then Brady wins his fourth, and it's still, Brady's not better than Montana. Brady's not better than Montana. Okay. Brady goes out, wins 28-3, wins against the Falcons, gets his fifth. Less people are still saying Montana, but the majority now is, okay, Brady is better, than Montana. But the whole point going 2 years prior was the whole Kansas City game in Arrowhead, the year they beat Seattle, was Brady's going to fall off a cliff. It had nothing to do with him being better than Montana. It went from him being better than Montana to Brady's falling off a cliff. Brady's falling off a cliff. Brady's falling off a cliff. He can't sustain this. He's too old. He's not going to last. He's going to suck. And when he says he sucks, he's going to retire. That's how it went. And then Patty Mahomes comes around, and it's, Patrick Mahomes is better than Brady. Look, see, the underdog, Patrick Mahomes, playing Tom Brady in the AFC Championship game, which we won, by the way. Oh, that was great. But then Patrick Mahomes is better than Brady. Mahomes is better than Brady. Brady has never been given his due. Maybe after he won with Tampa for that half a second, he was given his due, but he has never been given his due. And that's why, not for nothing, if you really want to know why I just vehemently dislike this Kansas City Chiefs team, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, it's because of this nonsense that, again, I'm not looking to rewrite history where after winning 3 Super Bowls, I want Brady to be dubbed the greatest of all time. No, I did not want that back then. I wanted Brady to get his fourth, and then the discussion could happen. 4-4. Montana and Brady both have 4. Then the discussion could happen. Then Brady got his fifth. Then it should have been clear-cut, done, ball game. But no, it was falling off the cliff. Patrick Mahomes comes around 2 years later. Patrick Mahomes is the best ever. He's better than Brady because he can run around. It's this type of, craziness, right? It's this type of just, specific line of thinking that the media just portrayed, and is still trying to not rewrite, but trying to angle history in such a way that it felt like, as Patriot fans, as Tom Brady fans, the fans of the dynasty, we were never given our due. We were never given our day in the sun, which that's the reason why I have such anger and disdain for what is going on right now with Patrick Mahomes, watching those games, watching these key calls get called at the perfect time that affect the play. And it always benefits the Chiefs, always. And so, of course, everybody, who hates that narrative of the games are fixed, the games are rigged, I never necessarily said that the games are rigged or fixed. I just said that you can't tell me that there's not something going on in the background, because these calls always, every single time, benefit the Chiefs. You know, like again, it's not the amount of flags, it's the flags at the perfect moment. The perfect moment on a big play, on a gotta have it play, that always benefits the Chiefs. And for all of you KC fans out there who somehow stumbled upon this show or this episode, I want to show you, you all cry me a river when you talk about, oh, well, D Ford. Yeah, D Ford was offsides. And just for S&Gs, I have the play for you right here.
Hands in the pocket. Flags out. Ball's picked. Ball's intercepted. It comes out of the hands of Ward for a moment. But he had it long enough, I believe, but he got a flag down.
Offside. Defense from our 55. Lined up in the neutral zone. The 5-yard penalty will replay third down.
Can you believe it? He's right there. And he is. He's over the blue by quite a bit.
Over the blue by quite a bit. And so that's what really bothers me. And just for sheer measure, I know that's a little difficult to understand. Here's from D Ford's side. Look at this overhead view. Right there. You can clearly see him lined up with his hand clearly over past the ball. And the funny part is he still didn't get to Tom Brady, even though he lined up blatantly offsides, because D Ford's at the bottom of the screen, in case you couldn't tell. But it's really stuff like that. That it's, you know, it's one of those things that I'm just glad. I'm just glad that the Chiefs lost. It's been fun. It was a good time to be a fan of the Patriots and watching Kansas City just crap themselves, get dejected, and crap themselves. So moving on, my final topic, we got the Boston Red Sox, who, again, I was prepared not to talk about them because, again, it's the same story. It feels like it's the same story, different day. And so, but last night, a little story broke through where it was full-blown, unbelievable to witness. I couldn't believe it. I was stunned. Alex Bregman signed with the Boston Red Sox. He is coming to Boston on a 3-year, $120 million deal. And it was, I was blown away by it. $30 million of it's guaranteed. The deal is going to be $40 million AAV. There are 2 opt-outs over the next 2 seasons, which, again, I would be surprised if he doesn't opt out after year 1. But I was ecstatic because this was a real signing with real money. And according to Jeff Passan, he signed we paid him $10 million more per year than any team that was offering him the long-term deal that he wanted. The 6-year plus deal that he wanted. We were like, listen, we'll sign you to 3, but we'll overpay you per year. And so he did it. He signed last night. And I'm ecstatic. I think that's a heck of a pickup that this team desperately needed. He's a winner. He is a great defender. I know everybody's saying he's going to play second base, but he can also play third. He is a Gold Glove winner at third. He is a former MVP, top MVP candidate. He's a Silver Slugger. He's going to rake at Fenway. I'm excited to see what happens. I think this team is now a legitimate playoff contender, and I think that the Red Sox can actually not only have a season, but they can contend for the AL East. At least the AL East. They are now true contenders for the AL East. I don't see, unless the Rays get some prospects that come out of the woodwork per usual, unless Baltimore lost Corbin Burns, who was arguably the best pitcher in baseball last year. Yes, the Yankees signed Max Fried, but the Blue Jays, Anthony Santander, okay. The Blue Jays really didn't blow anybody out of the water. They tried to spend as much money as they possibly could, but they couldn't get anything done. The Red Sox finally ponied up. They got their guy, which I think is a nice little thing. And hey, like I said, I am nothing if not fair. I got to give credit where credit is due. The Red Sox finally put it all on the table and said, listen, we want you. We will overspend to get you. And they did. They did exactly that. So I'm excited about that. The only thing, though, I will say, and this is something that I truly, wish Red Sox fans could understand, is this level of let's pump the brakes. Like, hey, golf clap. We signed Alex Bregman. Good job. You finally did your job. But let's not forget all of the past, and to think that all of that past this signing makes up for the last 5-6 years, getting rid of Mookie Betts, finishing last, for 3 straight years or 3 or 4 years. Like, the fact that we think that this Bregman signing cures all that is absolutely asinine. I mean, John Henry's wife posted a picture on her story of John Henry smoking a cigar, kind of as an FU, which, of course, that dropped right after the Bregman signing dropped. After that news broke, then that picture was posted. It's kind of like an FU, which, listen, I'll give you credit for overspending on Bregman, but you have a long way to go before you can earn my trust back, because come into next season, if you don't trade for Vladdy Guerrero, if you try to go after him as a free agent, if he becomes a free agent, with all the stories of Vladdy Guerrero saying that he wants to be part of the Red Sox, he wants to wear this uniform, if he signs for, let's say his contract ends up being $650, okay? If he signs for $650 somewhere else, and then it gets reported that you wouldn't cross $550 or $6, then we're back to square one. But if you were at that number, if you match that number, the AAV, the amount of years, okay, then I can start to begin to trust you a little bit. But just with everything else, it's the same. It really, I'm happy. I think this is great. I think that this means we're actually going to have a baseball season, come into Fenway, which I'm very excited about, because I feel like we haven't had a baseball season in a while. They teased us with a season last year, but they just fell flat on their face once the All-Star break finished. Yes, Jarren Duran won his MVP, but they were done after that series in LA. So I think this Bregman deal is definitely a good one for them. 30 years old. He got opt-outs after every single year. Yes, we overspent for him, but I like it. I do. I think it legitimizes us as a playoff contender. I truly believe that. Like, I think we were a playoff contender before Bregman, but now we are a playoff contender. I think the next turning point is, can we win the American League East? I think that's kind of the next step. So, frequent commenter, not Doug. It's about time they open their checkbook. I won't trust them until they continue to put this team first. Absolutely. Which is why it doesn't matter to me that it does matter. It's a nice little, like I said, golf clap. Good for you. You did your job. You did what you should have. You signed Alex Bregman. Even if the terms of the deal absolutely favor you a little bit in terms of the opt-outs, but the AAV definitely is on his side. It is an overpay. Overall, though, I like this. But you cannot tell me that this clears the books. This clears the fact that you didn't want to spend $360 over 10 years for Mookie Betts, which is absurd. And not to mention, too, when it comes to the Red Sox, since the Kyan Bloom days, now I heard this stat from Jimmy Stewart on 98.5, and I was flabbergasted at this. But 93% of Red Sox signings since Kyan Bloom have only been for 1-year deals, which again goes to show that the Red Sox, they do not spend their money. They refuse to. So that is why I want that's why it bothers me. And for everybody too that's talking about, oh, look at us, we're the number one farm system. We're homegrown. It's like, yes, we are. We have the number one farm system. Great. How is that translating to wins right now? I understand it translated to wins in 2018 with Mookie Betts. We had a generational talent in Mookie Betts, and I will never stop with this. But we had a generational talent in Mookie Betts who was homegrown. And then what did John Henry do with our homegrown talent? He said, F you, I'm not paying you the money that you deserve. I'm going to lowball you, and I'm never going to rise up. Or if I rise up, it's going to be like a $10 million rise. Other than that, you can go, you can go walk, or we'll trade you and try to get some prospects in return. That's the problem that I have, even with the homegrown talent. The homegrown team that was winning, that was the best team in Red Sox history, according to the stats and the amount of wins that we had. We still traded away a generational talent because John Henry was a cheap bastard. So please, spare me the nonsense that, oh my God, we're back, baby. The Red Sox are back. For this season, I like our odds. I like our chances. I like our chances. But in terms of me trusting this ownership and trusting Sam Kennedy and this organization, you're out of your damn mind. If they go off and sell at the trade deadline, or if they don't make any moves at the trade deadline because we got a couple injuries that are coming back, later in the summer, and that's their whole reason as to why they didn't make any deadline deals, you bet your ass I'm going to hold them accountable and call them cheap bastards again. So I like the deal, but does this mean the Red Sox are back? Absolutely not. For this season as a team, I think, yes, they are back. They are 100% on paper a playoff contender. But in terms of this front office being back to spending to win, to get this again, not close. Not even close. So they have a long way to go. Sam Kennedy has a long way to go before I can trust him as the president of baseball ops. Tom Warner and John Henry are still right in the same spot as they are. Just a couple of people who, want to make money versus wanting to win. I don't care. I don't understand the people who are like, if we win every year, it gets tiring. Listen, I'm not saying that, watching the same team win year after year after year after year gets exciting. I'm not. But to not have that drive to want to win every year, to sit there and again, over the last, it's been 7 years since the last World Series title. How many times have you heard either to your face on X or from them themselves? We gave you 4 World Series titles. What more do you want from us? I don't know. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like, hello, McFly. I want to keep trying to win. And this is a sport where money talks. And money is the quickest way to winning. Going out, getting the best players in free agency is the quickest way to win. And if you want to tell me that they're afraid of that because they're going to spend way too much money, they're also one of the best teams to get out of lengthy contracts. I mean, Josh Beckett, traded him to LA. Adrian Gonzalez, I think, was pretty much a part of that deal. Carl Crawford, we got rid of them all. David Price, we got rid of in the Mookie Betts deal. Yes, we were paying these guys a lot of money. Pablo Sandoval, I think we ate a lot on that, but we also got rid of them. They are one of the best at getting rid of terrible contracts. So that's why, to me, it is just kind of, it is crazy that they now are in the stage where they want to be the Tampa Rays, the Oakland A's, the Anaheim Angels. I mean, if you think about it, before last night, before signing Alex Bregman, the Oakland A's, who aren't even in Oakland anymore, they are homeless right now. I think they're playing in Sacramento, but at a minor league ballpark. So they're technically homeless. The Oakland A's, who are homeless, and the LA Anaheim Angels have spent more money this offseason prior to the Alex Bregman signing. That should have been a slap in the face to ownership, the players, and the fans. The fact that those teams, who are notorious losers and who are notoriously cheap, have outspent you this offseason. The Boston Red Sox, who are making money hand over fist, not just from an ownership group, but from a team standpoint. That's disgraceful. That is absolutely disgraceful. So that is why, again, nice job. You got your man. You got Bregman. He is now going to be wearing the Red Sox uniform. Very excited about that. But do I trust you to go out and make more moves next offseason? Do I trust you to go out and sign Vladdy Guerrero next season and offer him the contract that he is deserved? No. Because you lost my trust. You lost my trust when you recreated the Babe Ruth trade, but for the modern era, all over again, which was trading Mookie Betts. So it's I'm excited to see Bregman show up in a Red Sox uniform. But from me trusting ownership, we got a long way to go. We got a long way to go. So I want to thank you for coming, staying, watching this show, watching me rant about the Chiefs and how the Patriots Dynasty is 1,000 times better than this Chiefs little run that they're having. So I really appreciate it. And for the Boston Sports Summit, which is presented by the Grid Network, I am your host, Tim Barnard, and I will see you all next Wednesday. Thank you so much for coming out. Have a great weekend, and God bless. Thank you.